How are you today? Welcome to another little mini session, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about doing everything possible in your physical body to help yourself not be stressed, worried, or anxious. And here's why. Too often when people are feeling stressed, worried, or have anxiety, they try to solve that problem just with their mental body, just by changing the way that they think in some way. And that is effective and is necessary, but it's not the whole picture, and we need to do more than that. We actually also have to work with every other layer of our being, our physical layer, our emotional layer, our energetic layer, our spiritual layer, our karmic layer, all of those layers. And so the physical body is such an important place to start in order to keep ourselves grounded, not stressed, not worried, not anxious, or if we do feel stressed, worried, or anxious, or not joyful, or depressed, or sad, that we actually return back to the body and use it to our advantage to help it to solve the energy problem it's having there on that level also. And that means doing things like, I usually have a nice long list of non-negotiables that I introduce to my clients, doing things like learning how to use diaphragmatic breathing, daily meditation, daily exercise, even if it's just a 10-minute walk to really shift one's energy, which is extremely effective. Really taking a look at what kind of stimulants at what you have, and also your in your diet, and also what else is happening in your diet. If blood sugar is being kept even by eating every 2.5 to 3 hours or not, because low blood sugars often feel like having anxiety. Reducing caffeine. I just had a Facebook article that I sent out about caffeine, how caffeine can really, intoxication can create the same experience of anxiety. It's really incredible. So in any case, there are a bunch of non-negotiables that I usually introduce to people. But then there's also other things that we have to do, very cool tools that we can use in order to ground our bodies and have our bodies in the type of physical alignment that allows us to be able to be joyful, that allows us to have gratitude, that allows us to feel aligned with who we really are, that allows us to feel courageous, that allows us to feel not afraid and not scared. And that's because we're taking certain care of our body. So here's a couple of those cool tools. Like, for instance, if you're having a severe anxiety attack, get out a bowl of very, very cold water, I mean ice water, and hold your breath, put your face into it for 30 seconds. Now, I know that sounds shocking, and it is. It actually intentionally shocks the system. It activates the mammalian reflex, which will stop your anxiety attack. Another thing that you can do is use Bach flower remedies. This is a flower essence that you can either just put the drops, follow the instructions on the box. You would get the one that says rescue remedy and put a couple of drops in your mouth when you're feeling stressed, worried, or anxious. Or you can use it proactively and preventatively by putting about 12 drops into your bottle of water every day, turning the bottle over very gently, not to shake it, because the flower essences are fragile, and then sipping on that throughout your morning to reduce your stress, worry, and anxiety level behind the scenes, to reduce the baseline level by keeping it lower with natural remedies like that. Another way, another natural remedy for stress, worry, and anxiety is to make sure that you spend time as often as possible, preferably every day, if not a couple of times a week, outside where there are trees or other aspects of nature. Why? Trees and nature are grounding. They have a higher energy level. They vibrate at a higher level than you do, so they help to lift you. But also at the same time, trees are very grounding in their basic nature. They are rooted into the ground. If just by standing next to one you don't feel more grounded, go ahead and hug it. And I am not kidding when I encourage people to be tree huggers. Trees have an incredibly strong, powerful, beautiful grounding energy that if you hug it or sit up against it, put your back up against it, a tree, you will begin to feel differently, without question. So these are just a couple of the little tools, the cool tools that you can be using, that you can make a part of your life every day to really align your physical body so that it's easier for your emotional level, your emotional bodies, your mental level, your behaviors, your energy, to be on board with being in the flow of life and feeling relaxed, joyful, excited, enjoying the world that you have, the life that you have. And when you don't do these things, you'll notice a big difference. Listen, if you have any questions about those things, of course, we only have just a couple of minutes here. You can always shoot me an email